From the WHIO Broadcast Center in high definition, this is News Center 7.
We've been super blessed with our family's safety and now the safety of all of our animals. My daughter survived at Plaza Towers, and God is so good.
Emotional stories of survival emerge from the devastation just 2 days after a deadly tornado rips apart a tight-knit Oklahoma community.
You also see amongst the rubble and amongst the devastation, families huddled together, pulling things out of the rubble, smiling the best they can.
And today, the focus shifts from search and rescue to recovery as more of those directly impacted by the Moore tornado begin to sift through the rubble. Good afternoon. I'm Letitia Perry. John Paul will be in later today. New this noon hour, the Oklahoma Insurance Department says damage from that EF5 tornado could top $2 billion. That comes as people in the tornado-ravaged community begin to pick up the pieces. Two of those people cleaning up now are the Samples, a Miami Valley couple now living in Moore.
I called Jenny first, said, you need to turn the TV on and keep track of this. And then within 10 minutes, I called her back and said, you know what, I don't even want you there. I want you to leave because it looks bad.
I wasn't really afraid at first, but then when he called me and said, you need to get out of there now, I didn't hesitate because I could tell in his voice that he was serious. And so I took my son, I took my dogs, and we left the house right away and headed south away from the tornado. Our windows are broken out, and we'll probably need to replace the roof, and our shed is demolished. But I mean, comparing to looking across the street at houses that are completely demolished, yeah, we're one of the fortunate few.
And the Samples are just two of more than 10,000 people cleaning up today. We have a host of reporters gathering information and talking with the people who were hardest hit by Monday's tornado. Edward Lawrence continues our Team 7 coverage from Moore.
Judy Odom started cleaning up debris at her tornado-damaged home this morning. Her house took a bad hit, but it's not a total loss.
I know the back of the roof's damaged, but like I said, I've lived here 40 years, so, what do you do?
The tornado damaged or destroyed about 5,000 homes and more. Odom's cars are dented and covered in mud, but the house next door was not touched. The damage from the tornado was random. In this neighborhood, it uprooted huge trees, but just feet away, it left a flower arrangement unscathed. The search for victims was called off at Plaza Towers Elementary School. It took a direct hit, and 7 children were killed there. The 2 schools that were hit did not have storm shelters. The tornado claimed a total of 24 lives and injured more than 300 people.
Hello.
Authorities now believe everyone in town is accounted for. Homeland Security Secretary Janet Napolitano is visiting the area today. The head of the Federal Emergency Management Agency says officials are making sure tornado victims get everything they need for their recovery.
And that was Edward Lawrence reporting. News Center 7 has a team of reporters telling the stories of people from the Miami Valley affected by the disaster there in Oklahoma. Count on live Team 7 coverage from James Brown and Andy Sedlak continuing today at 5. And of course, you can get the latest online any time of day or night at WHIOTV.com. Well, we won't see anything like the disaster in Oklahoma, but we could see some severe weather today. Storm Center 7 meteorologist Rich Wurzik joins us now with a first look at the weather.
And Letitia, very right about that. We're going to separate anything that they had out there from what we may experience later today. For us, a typical severe weather chance as we go into the afternoon. And we've had a lot more clouds around today than we did yesterday. And that actually is a sign that there's more lift in the air or just more mechanisms to create rain. And now it's just going to be a wait and see on the radar trend on exactly where showers and thunderstorms develop. But I have an area circled there just west of Indianapolis. And you see in the past couple frames there, the last few frames, some showers starting to develop. And we have these little upper level disturbances in that direction that's headed in our area, or at least toward us for the afternoon, that will help to develop showers and thunderstorms. So that's one area that I'm watching here going into the early afternoon. The window of time for storms extends all the way into the evening. I'll track that for you in Futurecast. We're also going to talk about what happens after the severe threat, the big change in temperatures and what it means for the holiday weekend. Updated 5-day coming up. Letitia?
Rich, thank you. 3 people are seriously hurt after jumping out of their second-story apartment to escape flames. News Center 7's Mike Campbell spoke with those who saw what happened.
The first calls for help came in just before 3 a.m. and with flames chewing through this stairwell, the only way out, some residents decided they couldn't wait for help and began jumping out the window.
These
flames cut off the only way out and spread panic upstairs in this building. Police that arrived before firefighters tried to talk people into waiting, but not everyone listened, including this man who they gave first aid to until paramedics ran up.
It was just mass hysteria, utter confusion. People couldn't figure out how to get out of their apartment.
Our cameras caught all of the jumpers being loaded into ambulances. That man and two women.
Yeah, after she jumped, yes, she had to crawl away from the building because she couldn't move. I had to drive her over here to get to the ambulance.
Those three jumpers went to Upper Valley Medical Center. Two of them then transferred to Dayton hospitals. Firefighters then managed to help four more trapped second-story residents down a ladder to safety. They're still looking for where the flames began and why. Residents are still coming to grips with what happened and what will happen next.
As you can imagine, it's pretty scary to be woken up in the middle of the night with somebody pounding on your door telling you your building's on fire. But I just, I grabbed my keys, got my bearings about me, and ran out.
Firefighters tell us it looks like the flames did extensive damage to at least 5 of the 7 apartments here, and it looks like everyone will need to find a new place to stay with power and water cut off. In Troy, Mike Campbell, News Center 7.
Troy firefighters tell us a 4th victim did go to the hospital after experiencing breathing problems. She has already been treated and released. Sentencing has been delayed for a Richmond woman already serving prison time for the starvation death of her infant son. 22-year-old Amy Hockett was found guilty of murder back in February and is now serving 60 years to life in prison. Hockett's 3-month-old son, Caden, died last year from malnutrition. She also took a plea deal for charges of neglect in connection to her other 3 children. Investigators say they were living in filthy conditions. She faces an additional 6 years in prison for those charges. Her sentencing has been moved to next week. New details now on the Cleveland women held captive for more than a decade. All 3 victims now say they're doing just fine. In a letter released by their attorney, the women say they are happy and safe and continuing to heal. Amanda Berry, Gina DeJesus, and Michelle Knight escaped from the Cleveland home on May 6th. The suspect, 52-year-old Ariel Castro, is charged with 4 counts of kidnapping and 3 counts of rape, which led to the birth of Berry's 6-year-old daughter, reportedly fathered by Castro. The women are asking for privacy as they continue to heal. Big changes are coming to Wright Pat. Today, base officials announced plans for the National Museum of the U.S. Air Force's 4th building. News Center 7's Una Lee is live at Wright Pat this afternoon with more on that $46 million project. Una, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Letitia. That project would mean that some of these planes behind me will go into the 4th building. We have some diagrams and model of the 4th building planning for you. Now, previously, museum visitors without military base access were required to ride a shuttle to some of the galleries, like the Presidential Gallery and Research and Development Gallery here at the museum. And now, with this 4th building, they will not have to do that. The museum says there's been a challenge in a tough economy, but they're now ready to make progress with construction that's planned to start next summer. Right now, the Air Force Museum Foundation has reached $38 million in private fundraising money for the building. It's pledging to meet their $46 million goal, though. When I asked the director, though, about sequestration with temporary closures of galleries right now and cancellation of summer camps, he said that the money for the new building is actually private money.
Air Force picks up the cost of lighting and water and things like that for that new building. Now, when the new building comes along, we won't have the shuttle bus expenses anymore. We won't have the expenses of lighting those galleries over in Area B. And there are some aircraft that are in our air park currently that will come inside. So we'll avoid the cost of having to take care of those airplanes outside.
Now, we did talk to the Air Force Museum Foundation, who says that they did think about the money that would possibly go into just keeping the galleries open and also for the summer camps. Hear that coming up today at 5, and also when the new building is expected to open. Reporting live at Wright-Patterson Air Force Base, Una Lee, News Center 7.
Deadly falls at a popular Ohio State park has officials taking action this afternoon. Right after the break, how the DNR is hoping to prevent yet another tragedy. Plus, next at noon, the IRS under fire. Anger swells on Capitol Hill with the lack of answers from former IRS leaders.
Live coverage as the cleanup continues in Oklahoma, and our crews talked to local folks there.
And we were on scene after 3 people jumped from a burning apartment building.
That was today. Join us tomorrow on News Center 7 starting at 4:30 a.m.
Elk & Elk, serious lawyers for serious injuries. Call 1-800-ELK-OHIO.
Now you can get a new Equinox just $197 a month, a new Chevy Traverse for $249 a month, or save over $4,000 on a new Malibu Eco. We're out to move some metal in May at Joe Johnson Chevrolet in Troy, exit 69 north 2 miles. Don't stop until you see the Chevy sign. We're friends and friends.
Make room on your home screen. It's the official Ohio Lottery app. Watch Keno draws, scan tickets to see if you've won, and shake to get random numbers. It's free for Apple and Android devices. Download today.
Pick your price or pick your theme. It's the new way to choose your favorite Ohio Lottery Easy Play games. Just step up to the touchscreen display and tap a dollar amount. Or a theme, like sports or card games. Play today.
Did you know roofing warranties can be void on installation day? Don't suffer this costly mistake. Trust Champion, America's leader for windows, siding, sunrooms, and now roofing. Why Champion? Your Comfort 365 roof system advantage can increase your resale value, decrease energy expenses, protect valuables and your family's health. A lifetime warranty means your last roof.
Save now on quality windows, vinyl siding, sunrooms, and roofing.
Champion Factory Direct, premium quality, wholesale value.
You know Hondas are made in Marysville, but did you know they're sold here too? At Honda Marysville, we have over 600 new and used vehicles to choose from. And this month, lease an all-new Civic for just $199 or CRV for just $249, both 36 months and 0 down. Plus, get an iPad when you trade in your old car. So come check us out. We're open 7 days a week for sales and service. At Honda Marysville, it's different. We make your car buying experience easy and fun. Honda Marysville and HondaMarysville.com. We really are closer than you think.
What makes renting a rug doctor worth it? You get a professional level clean for a fraction of the cost. It only takes about 20 minutes per room. And in just one pass, you can get out ground in dirt, stains, and lingering odors. For a deep down Rug Doctor clean. Buttons? Rent one today. Rug Doctor. Clean deeper. Feel better.
Now you can get a new Chevy Cruze for $89 a month. A new Silverado Crew Cab 4x4, $299 a month. And the all-new 2014 Impala is here. Hurry in. We're out to move some metal in May at Joe Johnson Chevrolet in Troy. Exit 69 north 2 miles. Don't stop till you see the Chevy sign. We're friends. Send friends.
RVW.co. The RV dealer other dealers don't want you to know about.
New this noon hour, more crews will patrol the Hocking Hills State Park area after 4 major falls in the past month, 3 of which were deadly. The most recent accident happened earlier this week. A 66-year-old Cleveland man fell 81 feet from a cliff and died. We're told he was walking with friends and went off the path. His death happened just 2 days after a local Boy Scout leader from Centerville died during a rappelling accident. Park officials have issued hundreds of warnings and citations during the past 3 weekends. A Darke County man is headed to prison for the 3rd time. Mackenzie Gurrell pleaded guilty to 6 charges, including aggravated robbery, aggravated burglary, and weapon violations stemming from a month-long crime spree that ended with a police standoff in Gettysburg. Gurrell's attorney spoke for him in court.
He is an addict. And a lot of his behavior was probably under the influence of some pretty high-powered drugs.
Gurrell will spend the next 12 years behind bars. An FBI agent in Florida shot and killed a man with ties to the Boston Marathon bombing suspects this morning. The suspect has been identified as Ibrahim Tadeshev. Officials say the FBI shot him in self-defense at his Orlando home. Federal agents were led to him through investigative leads. Tadeshev was from the Chechnya region, as were the Tsarnaev brothers. Tadeshev has been living in the United States as a legal resident since 2008. New at noon, frustration is growing on Capitol Hill this afternoon as those at the center of an IRS scandal remain tight-lipped. Today, 12 days since the story broke, lawmakers are hoping to get answers from a woman at the center of that probe. Danielle Nottingham is at the hearing today.
The IRS official who first apologized for her agency targeting conservative groups is not answering questions about it.
I've decided to follow my counsel's advice and not testify or answer any of the questions today.
Lois Lerner invoked her Fifth Amendment right not to incriminate herself. She heads the IRS unit that decides who qualifies for tax-exempt status and read a brief statement before she was dismissed.
I have not done anything wrong.
In a letter to Congress, Lerner's attorney said she would not be testifying because of the FBI investigation.
She waived her right to Fifth Amendment privilege by issuing an opening statement. She ought to stand here and answer our questions.
Lawmakers are outraged Lerner found out agents were using inappropriate criteria to single out Tea Party groups back in 2011, but apparently did not inform her superiors and was not upfront with Congress.
Of course, I am disappointed that we will not be able to ask her questions today. I believe that she could shed much light on what we're trying to find, the truth.
Today, the number 2 at the Treasury worked to distance his department from scandal.
There is no indication that Treasury was involved in the improper conduct at the IRS.
Neil Woolen learned about the investigation from the Inspector General during the 2012 election. He said he told him to follow the facts and that it was Treasury's job to stay out of the way. Danielle Nottingham, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
A Cincinnati office is at the focus of this IRS investigation. Now, let's take a live look this noon hour at the latest numbers from Wall Street. As you can see, it's up 95 points at 15,483.
Good afternoon. I'm Rachel Murray from 95.7 FM and AM 1290 News Talk Radio WHIO with the farm markets for News Center 7 at noon. The local grain market quotations are provided by Bunge North America. Wheat is up 8 cents at $6.89 a bushel. Corn is up 12 at $7.17, and soybeans are up 5 at $15.53. The butcher hog carcass values from United Producers are holding steady at $89 per hundredweight. Listen to Miami Valley's Afternoon News with me, Rachel Murray, on News Talk Radio WHIO. Have a great afternoon.
And now a look at the price of oil this noon hour, down a bit at $95.80 a barrel.
Well, it's going to be a wait and see like we had yesterday as far as where and when the storms developed yesterday. They were just off to our east. There's much more confidence that this is going to be a scattered event over top of us today. And taking a look at the severe threat for the afternoon and early evening, basically the entire region locked into that threat for strong winds and even some hail with storms that develop. The winds are already kicking up here before even any thunderstorms develop, and that's as a cold front nears the region from the far west. You see kind of these little lines developing as showers, and we even had a few come through earlier. That's a look at the type of thunderstorms that will develop later today, and I mentioned this during the noon newscast. These are the type of storms we expect. They're called linear thunderstorms as opposed to the big giant supercells that they had in Oklahoma a couple days ago. So this is very typical for this part of the country to get this type of severe weather, and typically it's right out ahead of these storms where the strongest winds are, and then you get into the cells and you get a ton of rain, and that's when you also can pick up some hail. That cold front will swing through later this evening, put to bed any worry about severe threat, and then we go into a cooler pattern with a couple showers for the next couple of days. Current wind speeds are coming out of the south at a pretty good clip here, 12 to 15 miles per hour between Cincy and the Dayton airports there, and you got to factor in the gusts are pushing 25, 30 miles per hour. The overall wind field is already strong, so any type of thunderstorm that develops, you got to just factor that in. It can take advantage of that wind field, and the downburst could be even stronger. Temperatures right now running in the mid to upper 70s. We have a few upper 60s. It's what we call uneven surface heating, and it just all has to do with who's been seeing how much sun and how many clouds have stuck around. The holes within the cloud deck haven't been necessarily fair for everybody, but we'll continue to see that peaks of sun here or there for the next couple of hours. And by 5 o'clock, a couple showers and thunderstorms developing as a result. Taking this into 9 o'clock this evening, still the opportunity for thunderstorms moving to the east. Cold front kicks through, so the later part of tonight, a couple showers, severe threats done. 8 o'clock tomorrow morning through the afternoon, scattered showers. Wouldn't be surprised if there was a rumble of thunder. We're not looking at tomorrow as a severe threat. Temperatures much cooler. This is more stable air, but there's enough moisture and kick in the upper levels to create some of these showers. Then we get into some clearing. Look at Friday morning at 7 o'clock. We're starting in the 40s. Looks like the furnace is clicking back on for a lot of our homes and apartments. 4 o'clock Friday afternoon, we don't even get to 70, but we should end up with a decent amount of sun. Windy conditions here for the afternoon. Outside of that, a shower or thunderstorm possible really at any point this afternoon into this evening. They will be scattered. Let's go into tonight's forecast. Thunderstorms ending early, and then for the rest of the night, we're looking at quiet weather with the outside exception there of a couple showers. Into our 5-day forecast, upper 60s through Friday. How about the beginning of the holiday weekend here? Mostly sunny Saturday, 68. Sunday, an isolated shower. Very small chance for rain. Letitia?
Next at noon, live coverage from Oklahoma. Coming up, a live report from our own James Brown. Stay with us.
Incredible loss, a city in ruins.
People of Moore should know that their country will remain on the ground as long as it takes.
As search and rescue efforts continue, News Center 7 takes you there.
I'm James Brown here in Oklahoma. Coming up on News Center 7, the stories left behind in the wake of this massive destruction.
Tragedy in Oklahoma. Continuing coverage on the next News Center 7.
Say yes to peace of mind at Joseph Airport Toyota.
White Island Chevrolet will give you cash for your car. Lots of it. Trade in and trade up to a new Chevy Cruze for as little as $149 a month and get top dollar for your current vehicle. Everyone wins during the trade-in, trade-up sale going on now at White Island Chevrolet.
The air inside your home can be up to 100 times more polluted than the air outside. Fortunately, there's a solution. As HVAC Plumbing Electric offers Aprilaire Whole Home Air Cleaners. For the best solution to indoor air pollution with a touch of a button, call Ed's today.
I welcomed you as you took your first breath and provided care as you reached new heights. I offered comfort when you were down and the encouragement to get back up. I'm here for you now because my purpose is healing, and I can't imagine a more rewarding path than nursing.
It's hard to watch a parent struggle with hearing loss. I know. I watched my dad go through it. And even as the founder of Avada Hearing Care, it was tough to get him to seek help.
Luckily, the staff at Avada puts patients at ease. Contact Avada today to hear your absolute best.
White Island Chevrolet will give you cash for your car. Lots of it. Trade in and trade up to a new Chevy Equinox for as little as $199 a month and get top dollar for your current vehicle. Everyone wins during the trade-in, trade-up sale going on now at White Island Chevrolet.
2013 Focus, $3,500 off, release for just $139 per month at Interstate Ford.
We continue our Team 7 coverage of the disaster in Oklahoma live. Our James Brown is live right now in Moore with a look at some of the devastation there. James?
Yeah, Letitia, good afternoon to you. Yes, we are here in Moore, and I'm standing at what used to be a convenience store, a 7-Eleven, a large one at that. If you can see over my shoulder off in the distance, there is a field area there. And then just beyond that, home after home after home that is just wiped out. We've been watching much of the morning of the people who live behind me, sifting through what is left of their homes, trying to find even the smallest mementos, and very emotional for them, as you could understand. We're going to head over there just as soon as we're done talking with you, Letitia, and we're going to speak with them. But again, you look at all the damage that is surrounding me. This is a brick after brick. As I heard you say, $2 billion in damage. But again, what's interesting is what this tornado does. This is some sort of bottle of wine. Look at this. This is a gallon of wine, and it's impact. It did not damage. It's not broken. There's a little scuff on the top there, but it is amazing when you look at the damage here and you understand how homes can be wiped out, trees can be torn down, barks ripped off trees, but then you have a bottle of wine like that is untouched. It's simply everywhere you look. Letitia, imagine this, closing your eyes for 5 seconds as you go home with your daughters tonight, open them, and then it all be gone. I tell that to our viewers there in the Dayton area. That's what these folks are dealing with. So many of these people are trying to figure out where they're going next. I will tell you, I've been so amazed at the resilience of this community and what these folks have been through. Still so kind. We will go up and talk with them, and they just do a wonderful job. Going to have more of our coverage starting today at 5 o'clock right here on News Center 7. So for now, I will leave it at that. And again, count on our Team 7 coverage coming up in just a few hours. I'm James Brown, News Center 7, reporting live from Moore, Oklahoma.
James, thank you. We'll see you at 5. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
WHIO's Fabulous Food Week from New York is all about options.
How can you be half vegan, half meat eater?
Because my sister cooks vegan and I go and eat that. When I'm by myself, I eat meat.
Next week,
Wheel of Fortune tonight at 7 on Channel 7. Crowds of people fill the showroom at Crispin's Contemporary Furniture Going Out of Business event, going on now in Centerville. Unique designer contemporary furniture is being liquidated at discounts up to 75% off. Choose from thousands of unique objects and handmade Oriental rugs. Crispin's is closing forever, and everything will be sold regardless of cost. Find the furniture of your dreams at once-in-a-lifetime prices, but only while furniture remains, and only at Crispin's Contemporary Furniture in Centerville.
Introducing the beautiful Motor Trend Car of the Year, Cadillac ATS. Available Cadillac Q system. Autobahn tested. Up to 34 miles per gallon. At $299, you can drive a Cadillac.
Important healthcare notice. If people tell you your TV is too loud, or if listening in some environments has become difficult, you are needed to participate in a special program called the 30-Day Challenge. AccuQuest Hearing Centers is seeking 100 people with hearing difficulties to evaluate iSync, a new 100% digital invisible hearing aid now being released. To take part in this event, you must call. Please get a pencil and write down the phone number below. 100 people with hearing aids or hearing difficulties are needed to take part in the 30-Day Challenge, evaluating a new high-tech device the size of a pencil eraser. Call the number below. iSync is the world's first 100% digital, completely invisible hearing aid. Hearing consultations performed at no charge for all qualified callers. Participants will try iSync hearing aids for 30 days. Call the number below and take the AccuQuest Hearing 30-Day Challenge.
Call Logan AC and Heat Services to replace your air conditioner. Save up to $12.50 on a new Trane system or get 0% APR for 36 months. It's hard to stop a train. Call now. Logan Services 224-3200.
Cheryl McHenry, weekdays at 5 on News Center 7.
Hollywood's two skinny stars, bones protruding, the new photos, plus Anna Nicole's breast implants. Next, ET.
Tonight at 7:30 on Channel 7.
A risk of severe weather in our area.
That's right. We have the thunderstorm capability today, or I should say the capability of the thunderstorms to produce some damaging winds. We're going to watch that especially later this afternoon and into the early evening. It's that little time frame of window. I'd say frame of time from 3 to 7, probably the biggest threat. That puts Jamie Simpson right in the middle of it. Join him at 5. He'll be tracking him on Live Doppler 7.
Thank you very much. We'll also have James Brown at 5 later today, live from Oklahoma. Have a great afternoon.